What's up, everybody? This is April Dawn. I'm here to do my Season 2 Underground Season 2 Episode 8 review. It's called Auld Aquaintance, okay? So this episode was jam-packed with stuff, y'all. Jam-packed from the beginning to the end. I kind of feel like maybe they should have had like 12 or 13 episodes, and they could have maybe developed some of these plot lines a little bit more, but I do understand, for pacing purposes, maybe they just want to keep it exciting. It makes me sad because it's almost over, y'all. We only have 2 more episodes left. So let's go ahead and get into it because it was a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to go storyline by storyline. The episode first starts off with a quick check-in from Daniel. Daniel it's Christmas time, or it seemed like it was New Year's because Old Lang Syne was playing. So it was around New Year's time wherever he is, and his eyes are now gouged out, or they're burnt out because, of course, he was teaching people how to read, and so now he can't see. So ironically, he still has to do his masonry work, so you see him fumbling over things because he can't see. I don't know if they just burn 1 eye or 2 eyes, because it seemed like to me, why would you burn 2 eyes and it's still asking him to do the same work? But regardless of the fact, he's still trying to do the work. He's not doing well, he fumbling over it, and the statue says something like knowledge is liberty or something like that in Latin. And so, like, it's ironic that you're a slave and you're being made to make a statue with this inscription on it or whatever. So, like I said before, I think he's going to be our linchpin this season. I don't know exactly why they're taking us down this thing with with Daniel. And I feel like some kind of way is going to come into play. Because I feel like he's going to be able to do that statue, even though he's blind. He's going to be able to do some things, even though he can't see. Okay, I feel like that's going to come into play at some point, like at the very last minute on the very last episode or something like that. Or it could just be another story to just illuminate, help illuminate what's going on in our story. Or just, just something to take us away, another point or another point of view to just show us. I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like they're not doing this just to do it. It's not arbitrary. They're doing it because it's important. Okay, so that's what's going on with Daniel. That's pretty much it. They just flashed us him, and that's pretty much it for this episode. I mean, that is it for this episode. So now we're with Georgia. We're going to talk about Georgia Elizabeth storyline. So we're with Georgia and Elizabeth. They are at the boarding house. The boarding house is starting to go down financially because they have less boarders because of the rumors about Georgia passing for white. This is my issue. Georgia does not look white. In no world do she ever look white to me. She looks like she's black. She looks like a free black mixed woman. Mixed race, a mixed race woman. She don't look white. Okay, I don't know. I thought that everybody knew that she was a free black person. I did not know that they thought that she was a white person. So it's not really the character, it's the casting. The girl just don't look white to me. I mean, you could have found a black girl with blonde hair. I know some girls from Louisiana that look more white than that. I got a friend who look white. I mean, with white people hair, I hate to say, white people, I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. White people, my white viewers, I love all of y'all. But you know what I'm saying. With Caucasian textured hair, and she's very fair skinned, and she will look more white than Georgia. But that's neither here nor there. So they at the house. The people been hearing the rumors and about what's going on with her. So they're having a bake sale to raise goods to have the funds and all the goods have not been breaked with by slavery or during people that are slaves. So that's cute or whatever. And the people, I see what Harriet Tubman was talking about when she was talking about abolitionists. Like, they feel sorry for the people. They think that slavery is an awful institution, but they don't actually want to do anything. They still benefit from slavery because, like she said, they're wearing cotton clothes. They're wearing top coats and all those type of things that's made out of the cotton from the slaves that pick. So, and then Elizabeth says they just travel all over the world and make themselves feel cultured, but they don't actually do anything to help what's going on in their country that they live in, even though they don't agree with it. Okay, so this is an old acquaintance of Elizabeth, and she thinks it's wonderful that Elizabeth is helping the Negroes. Okay, she's helping the Negroes. Okay, so she really don't mess with Georgia though, and you can tell. She says they need to go out to lunch one day by themselves, and she kind of likes boo on Georgia or whatever. So although she's not a slave, she's not on their level, or she can never be white. Okay, like she acting like a white person, like she's a white person. Oh no, that's never gonna That's never gonna fly, okay? So so now we're at the boarding house. Her and Rosalie, they need money. Rosalie is at the boarding. Oh, I'm sorry. Back at the boarding house. Not Rosalie. Why I keep saying Rosalie, child? Harriet is with Elizabeth, and her and Elizabeth talk about, what they can do to raise money. And she says, Elizabeth is like, I really don't know what my purpose is. I'm trying to find out what my purpose is. And Harriet talks about trusting in the Lord and how she got money when she went to go give $20 to go get her father back. That when she got her husband, that she didn't have she needed $20, and she went to a man. God told her to go to this man. The man told her he wasn't going to give her the $20, and so she said that she waited every day outside his office for her to give them the $20 because she knew that she was going to get the $20. And basically, she got the $20 from the people who were walking by feeling sorry for her. So there's a way for you to get some money. You just need to figure out how. Okay, so when is the last time you prayed? So we already know they're about to be up to something, okay? So it's about the time to plan a heist, okay? So now we got a set it off type situation, okay, going on. And so her, Georgia, and Elizabeth sit down and plan this heist that they're going to do at this church. They understand that there's a pro-slavery church, and they have a printing press that prints off, things that says that slavery is godly. Right? So on Christmas, they know that a lot of people are going to be in the church. There are a lot of people are going to be donating money to the church. And she says Elizabeth is nervous because she feels like there's going to be a lot of eyes on her. And Harriet says, but there's not going to be any eyes on the black people in there. So basically they use the black girl to create a distraction. So the girl releases some snakes out in the church. People start running and screaming. Her and Elizabeth grab the money, the collection money, and they run out of the church. Now, when they get halfway to the car, there's a man. He says, you guys are thieves. You're sinners or whatever. You're sinners. You're stealing from the Lord on the day his son was born. And so gangster Georgia pulls out her gun just like a gangster and says, you gonna step back? I'm about to show you a real sinner, okay? Step on back, boo. Because I'm about to set it off on the left. Y'all set it off on the right. Y'all set it off. Hey, come on then, set it off. Oh, set it off on the left. Y'all set it off on the right. Y'all set it off. Come on then, set it off. Just had to give you a musical interlude, okay? So that's what happened with the homegirls, okay? This week we got it. Yeah, they got on the train. Okay, I just want to make sure I got everything. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so Elizabeth, later on, Elizabeth goes to her friend's house, and the one who said, they was over in India, that friend who was playing with, that friend. So she goes to the girl house and she says, I just want to give you an opportunity to donate to the cause. And the girl says, it's Christmas time. My family is late, girl. Like, why are you at my door? Like, I don't understand. She says, well, just like you have heard rumors. Oh, well, first the girl said, I don't want anything to do with what that girl Georgia has got going on. And she says, well, just like you've heard rumors, I've also heard rumors. I've heard rumors about you with Tyron and Dariante and Daquan and Travion, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard rumors about you with all of them. And so unless you want Bob to find out about what you've been doing with Dariante, girl, you gonna give me this coin. And she's like, oh, okay, so basically you gonna tell him? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna threaten to tell him every month when I come here to collect money from you, because I feel like you a good person. You just need somebody to help you bring it out. I said, Elizabeth, you better use that devil. You better use that devil on the inside to work for the good. I was like, Elizabeth, we are going down a slippery slope, but I am here for it, okay? I'm here for it, girl. I'm here. So, she did some good old white woman trickery, honey. Yes, okay? She did that rich white woman trickery, and she got that coin. She got what she needed to get, okay? Receipts. Always have receipts. That's your lesson for today, boys and girls. Always have receipts. So, that's was everything for their, their storyline. And at the end, oh yeah, I forgot about that part. At the end, Cato comes into the, they realize they have a passenger in the safe house. So Georgia opens the door, and lo and behold, it's Cato Benton. But I just feel like Cato, he gonna turn it for the good. He gonna turn it because he always do this, y'all. He always make us hate him because you'll be like, he gonna tell everything. Because my thing is like, you're trying to get out of this situation with Patty Cannon. So to me, the smart thing to do would be to, now that you in a safe way with Harriet, to help them, because you don't want to expose, because deep down we all know that Cato is still a good person on the inside, deep, way down deep, okay, way down, because he set them 7 people free. He could have easily sent them back into slavery and collected a coin for them, okay? But he didn't do that. He set them people free. So I feel like he's not going to expose the whole Underground Railroad just so he can be free, because he can never be free, because he's a runaway slave at this point. And now we're coming up on a time of war. So I feel like Cato is going to turn it for the good. I hope that he is going to turn it for the good. We're going to see. I don't know. So, yeah, Cato is in there. He in there with Harriet Tubman, y'all. I don't know. You ain't going to be playing with Harriet, though. That's one thing I know. Harriet ain't no fool. So, we're going to see what happened with that. So, with Noah, with Ernestine, okay? Ernestine is with August now. They're on the boat. They're traveling. I'm assuming that they're going to go to Patty Cannon. So conversation happens on the boat between, all of them 3. She asks for some of August's wine or his liquor, and I don't know if he gives it to her or not. I can't remember. He don't have much to say. So the other guy is talking, and he complains about, or she complains about them taking the slower route, and they say something about Patty. So Ernestine figures out that Patty wants to see her, and Ernestine says, what does Patty want with me? And it got something to do with Rosalie. I mean, she's not a dummy. She can figure out what's going on, right? And so basically, August is not following the rules that Patty has set forth. They're not going the way that they need to go to get back to Patty at this time. So I'm not really sure what's going on, and they're in an area where it's like hostile. The guy is talking about some people are going to shoot us, but it's not Indians because they're not using arrows, so they must be talking about other stealers, or maybe slave stealers that's in the woods that's trying to help. I'm not exactly sure who he's talking about can get them, but they hear a shot in the air. Ernestine uses this opportunity to jump into the water. Of course, she can't swim that well, so she makes it to shore and they catch her. So we're walking through the swamp now, and you can see that Ernestine is coughing. She's going through withdrawal. She's not on the drug anymore. So she's going through that withdrawal. They walking through the woods, and something happens. I can't remember exactly what it is. She's ripping scraps of her dress and leaving it as a trail, and the guy who is with her, she's hiding it in her ropes that's tied around her hands. So he figures out that she's leaving scraps as a trail, but we also know that August reveals that he has been picking up the scraps the whole time. So she thought she was getting somewhere, but she's really not getting anywhere. So she asked about Rosalie. He does not respond. He don't want to talk about Rosalie, child, okay? She asked about a question about his son. She gets no answer from him about the son, okay? They set up camp for the night, and Ernestine and August have a conversation. Now, I think these two are going to come together in some sort of coupling, because they both shared about their regrets about their son. August talked about how he was selfish. He shouldn't have had him out there in the first place. He shouldn't have did that. He was pushing for money. His house was paid for. He didn't have to be out there like that, but he was out there for the hunt. And, he was out there because it's exciting. And, he was being selfish, trying to thought he was teaching his son something, and he should have never had him out there. He the reason why he dead, and he know that. That's why he feels guilty, and that's why he's an alcoholic. Ernestine similarly laments and says that she doomed James when she hung Master Time. Maybe she did know what was going to happen to James, and maybe she didn't know but maybe she just didn't care. So she talks about how she fails her son. Sam was her favorite, but he never knew it. And, his death, like she said, basically doomed James. She hung Master Time without thinking about what the consequences was going to be. Okay, so, and same thing with him. He kept pushing for money, so that's why his son got hurt. So, it seems that August has come to terms, and he really doesn't blame Rosalie for his son's death. He understands that he shouldn't have had his son out there in the first place doing grown man work, because he know that his son wasn't even built and set up for this type of lifestyle, okay? So, at least he taking responsibility for what he did, even though he an alcoholic and he killing himself, so they have that conversation. So Ernestine gets up. She needs to go relieve herself in the woods. The guy lets her go because there's a rope tied around her waist, and some kind of way she gets out of the rope. She ties the rope to a tree, and he realizes that she's escaped. He runs through the wood, he catches her, and they are in a serious fight, okay? And so who comes to the rescue? August. He comes to the rescue. He beats the guy up. He kills him, like sticks a knife in his neck or something in his neck, and he 100% he dead. Okay, he all the way dead. He dead. Okay, dead to the forest floor. Dead to the forest grass. Okay, he dead. So, he gives Ernestine some of the medicine, and I think she popped her arm back into place or something. She knocked out of place, and he popped it back into place. Okay, when she wakes up, she's back on the boat with August, and they are going deep south, far away from Patty Cannon. I don't know if they're going back to the Rowe plantation. I'm not sure if they're going to Macon. I'm not sure if they're going to August's house, but he just gonna make her his new wife, child. I don't know what's going on, but they on the boat, and she said we going south, and he just look at her. So we gonna see. All right, so now we have with Rosalie. Rosalie is back in the house. Oh, let's go to Cato. So Cato is with us this season. He is back with who is he with? He's with Patty Cannon. He's sitting in the room talking to Patty Cannon. They're discussing what's going on, and he kind of he gives her the book that Donahue has written, or what he's written so far, and he lets her read about herself. And first she's all excited about what she's reading in the book, but then after that she realizes that he has written and he has set up this Moby Dick situation. Remember I told y'all about that Moby Dick situation with her and Harriet Tubman. So he says, why are you worried about Rosalie? Why are you not trying to get Harriet Tubman? This is your legacy. This is what you need to be worried about. Okay, this is what you need to be worried about. So Cato has successfully shifted Patty's focus away from Rosalie and on to Harriet Tubman. So like I said at the end of the episode, and he taunts her with this because she says that she's hard to find because there's no map of the underground. And so he tells her about the song that Noah taught him about, the song, the song that they used that the guy had on the wall and he wrote down, and all of that, the song, the intro to the show. And when I liked how they did the scene, because she said, okay, sing it for me. And when he started singing, the intro to the show came on. That was kind of dope. How they did that. It's interesting fact, this is the little behind the scenes information, that song is not a real song. It's not, but we use songs like this, like I told y'all before, I'm a music teacher, and in my segment I do a section on Black History Month, and we talk about the secret messages of the songs of the Underground Railroad. And it's not just a lesson that I created, guys. This is a lesson that we do in the state of Texas, and we do it as a part of our music curriculum. So I don't want you to think that just because I live in the South that we don't talk about slavery, we don't talk about the Underground Railroad. Okay, y'all know me, so I'm gonna go in depth. Okay, I'm gonna ask questions that are important and make sure our kids know what we went through to get to where we are today, and that civil rights is for everybody. It's not just for Black people. It's not just for anybody. It's for everybody. So when people benefit from civil rights, the whole world benefits, okay? So civil rights are human rights, okay? But don't get me started on my tangent. Anywho, we do a song. We do, not Go Down Moses, but that's another one. Go Down Moses, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. What the one we do is, Follow the Drinking Gourd. So, they said dead trees will show you the way. So the song tells you how to get to freedom. It tells you when to leave. It tells you what to go and what to look for. So basically, he has spilled the beans, okay? He sang the song for the lady. And we don't know what Cato's plan is now at this moment, because he has gotten to the safe house. Like I said, Harriet in the safe house. He in the house with Harriet, okay? So I don't know if he's going to use it to his advantage and because he's really down for the cause, or it's something evil afoot, or maybe he want to free Debbie. I don't know. He's going to use it to leverage his freedom. I'm not exactly sure what Cato's plan is, and we all know that Cato be up to some bull, okay? But sometimes he come through. I don't know. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay, so enough of that. So we're with James. Let's go back to James and Rosalie at the plantation. So James is living high on the hog, baby. He fresh to death. He's suited and booted. Okay, he's living the good life. Welcome to the good life. Or so he think, right? That's what he think. He living the good life. Okay, he like Kanye West living up in a Kardashian house right now at this moment. Suzanne has indoctrinated him into house living, basically. As you can see later on in the episode when she talks about the bad blood from his mother and the good blood from his daddy. What I didn't like about this episode is that James seems a little apathetic, and I mean towards his family situation. Now I understand he's a child and he's gonna think with a child mind, and y'all know that if you don't know a lot about child development, you know that at a certain age kids are selfish. That's just a part of being a child. Okay, so I feel like but I also feel like you know your brother got killed, okay, or you found out your brother got killed, you know your mama got sold away. It's like he's not even upset about it, like he not. And with all the self-awareness that he showed last season, you know, having to grow up so quick when he was put out in the field, it's interesting to me that now he doesn't even care about his family anymore. He's pretty much put them out of his mind. So, but you can also tell that Suzanne has been working on him, brainwashing him, telling him his mama abandoned him, telling Rosalie abandoned him or whatever. So, you know, I'm sure that also is playing a part into why he feels the way he feels. So, he's waited on hand and foot. And when we come in, Suzanne is playing the piano. He's just sitting there playing with whatever he playing with. And they're talking about the horse, or you can do this with your horse. And TJ, I think it's TR, or no, it's TR, TR is upset. That's the that's him, that's her, Suzanne's son with Tom. They, you know, he's upset. Clearly there's a sibling rivalry here that's, you know, that she's establishing, and I'm pretty sure it's for the purpose for something later on. Okay, I think she really likes James because she can mold him and he's a young child. See, TR is her child, but like she said, Ernestine, the one who took care of TR and all the people, she took care of him, so she don't really have no bond like that with him. Okay, so TR, you can tell it's clearly just because he ain't get no horse. Okay, so he's mad. He's upset. You can tell he's pissed. Okay, I mean, not only did James not take your wafer, your Nico wafer, your Nico, whatever kind of wafer it was, now he living up in the house getting horses, and you sit up there getting fussed at. I know he feels some type of way about it, okay? And so what's interesting is that Rosalie is in the room the whole time. She's staring at James the whole time. They're locked eyes, okay? He says that, yeah, Rosalie, I mean, he passes by the room and they're trying to put Rosalie into her dress, talking about she got to suck that belly in because she got to get back into the same dress and all that. Y'all, it was ridiculous, okay? Oh, he was opening Christmas presents. That's what he was doing. He wasn't even pressed, okay, like that. I mean, he looked a little longingly, but he wasn't even worried about his sister, okay? So later on in the episode, he's out there with Noah, or Noah comes upon him. He's brushing the horse and taking care of the horse. So Noah basically tells him that he's upset. Well, you know, they're family now because Rosalie is pregnant. And he said, what you need to understand is I protect mine. And he says that, well, you didn't, and James says you didn't protect my sister from, you know, getting the lashes from Bill. So basically because, you know, he like, well, they my family, y'all abandoned me or whatever. And he was like, was she your family when she set you out there to get beat? Okay, when you know, remember when Bill beat Rosalie because he jumped out, or the kids was playing and he fell out the wagon, or the stuff fell out the wagon? She set you out there to get beat, and when Rosalie took them lashes for you, you know that was your sister then, that's your family then. And he said, one thing about my family, I protect mine. Well, why you ain't protect my sister? At that time, they wasn't even together, so that's a whole different story. But he's a child, okay? He's a child, so you know his logic and reasoning skills ain't all the way up to par, okay? But you know, and part of me, I hate to say this, y'all, but he is Tom's son. Okay, so I'm sure he has some characteristics of cold-heartedness like Tom had. Okay, Tom was not an evil man. He was just a weak man. Okay, he was a weak man who was easily influenced to do whatever people wanted him to do. Okay, so yeah, we weren't down with that. That wasn't cool either. So what happens is that Suzanne has taken over, and every time a slave disobeys her, or Rosalie disobeys her, she slaps another slave. I can't remember the girl's name, but she slaps another slave because they know that, or she knows that, you know, by her hurting somebody else, she's hurting Rosalie even more than she would if she slapped Rosalie, because Rosalie can take it, but the other people can't. You know what I'm saying? So she knows that that's gonna hurt Rosalie. So Noah tells James, I'm jumping back and forth, but Noah tells James that he gonna have to make a decision about what family he gonna be in, basically. And so he goes back off into the woods. So like I said, we're back there, and we can see that that Suzanne is slapping, the girl in the face every time Rosalie says something or does something she doesn't like. She tells Rosalie it's the same way it rolled the last time. You supposed to be in the kitchen or in the cellar getting wine for dinner tonight, because they're going to have a dinner tonight with all the exceptional Negroes, okay? So, and that's that for the most part, I think. Hold up. Yeah, so Rosalie gets him by himself for a minute, and she basically tells him, like, this is a lie. All this stuff you wearing is a lie. As soon as they feel uncomfortable around you, as soon as you do something that they don't like, they're going to kill you, or this sense of security is going to be taken away from you. I'm your family. I love you. He says, why did you abandon me? Why did you come back? Everything is worse. My life was good. So forth and so on. And he tells her, I didn't tell Noah, but I'm not going. This is my family now. So Rosalie is very upset. Okay, obviously. Yeah, so later on, let's see, hold up. Noah still cares about Rosalie. So that was kind of weird how we came back from the break, and we find out that and Noah, it goes right into the Noah and Bill scene, which was kind of weird. At some point, I don't know exactly what happens right here or when this happened, but it happened. Okay, so that's that, and we're gonna go to Noah. So Noah has found Cora. I finally got her name, Cora. Okay, Cora. Cora. Okay, that's my Tyler Perry movies. Anyway. Noah has found out that Cora did not betray them, so they set to put this plan in motion. He's still going with the plan, even though he pissed at Rosalie because, and he figures out, like I said on the last episode, Cora figures out that he didn't know that she was pregnant. So he pissed at Rosalie, but he still love her. He's still gonna get out of there. They still gonna go ahead with the plan. So like I said, they want to try to take over the house. They know that they're gonna have Christmas dinner and invite all the best slaves up to the house to eat with dinner. This is what a tradition that Tom used to do, and they're gonna be up there all night. So they know that they can leave. The plan was originally to take, to slip out and leave while everybody sleep. But now they're going to take the big house because they know that Rosalie got caught. I mean, she in the house, so they got to get her. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to use somebody on the inside to find out what's going on, or I guess maybe to let them in the house or whatever the case may be. So they sizing up everybody that's out there playing a game. They out there playing some type of game. Rugby, soccer, football, or primitive football. I don't know what it was, child, but they was out there playing something. And y'all can tell me what it was in the comments. It really wasn't that important. And they was looking at every guy, kind of like on the very first and second episode of the whole series when he was sizing up who he wanted the crew to be. And, they talked about who was good and, who could do what or whatever. Same type of scene, same type of Ocean's 11 setup. You see what I'm saying? But in the end, so now we're at the dinner. Okay, we come to the dinner. Now is the night. They out there setting out the table, Oh, well, I guess I could talk about before then. Before that, TR comes into the room with Rosalie and tells her, to do something. Oh, tells her that he's going to tell his mother or something. Things haven't changed, that she needs to go down to the cellar. His mama says she's not supposed to be in here. She's supposed to be in the cellar getting the wine for the dinner. And she says, well, she said she wanted whiskey. So there's no whiskey down there. So I thought it would be in here. And so he calls in the other girl because he's going to slap her. And when he goes to slap her, Rosalie grabs his hand and said, if you want to slap somebody, you need to slap me. And he turned around and said, I'm going to get you whipped. I'm going to get you whipped for even touching me. Now, this her brother, because she said, when he said, because our father liked to drink the whiskey up here. Okay, catch that tea. I'm going to let you know I'm your big sister. Okay, every chance I get, I'm going to let you know your daddy is my daddy. Okay, so why you talking about this? You talking about your sister, your blood sister, you evil. Anyway, let me stop. So, he said he gonna get them whipped for we're gonna get her whipped for touching him. So James comes in the room and he says stop, and he makes them leave the room. Okay, so or he goes, mama, and he like, don't say that, so he leaves the room or whatever. He makes them leave. Then he tells Rosalie that he's not going with her. This is his new family, so forth and so on. So let's jump ahead. Now we're at the dinner. Everything's getting served. I like the way they set it up because they made us think, you know, try to figure out who was the inside man that they were using. And one of the people sitting at the table was Journey Smollett Bell's husband, Josiah Bell. He was one of the slaves that was sitting at the table. I don't remember the name. It might have been Josiah, okay? But I don't remember the name of the slave. But yeah, he was one of the characters that played the slaves at the Christmas table. So they're all there, you know, they all twitching. When they was going around the camera, kind of twitching a little bit. And, you know, I don't know. Before this scene, I keep going back, y'all. Before this scene, this is what I'm talking about. When we came back from the commercial break, it was straight into the Bill and Noah scene. Noah tells Bill, I'm not going to leave this plantation until you dead. And they fight and he's dead. Okay, so we're happy. Bill dead, child. We've been waiting for Bill, been dead a long ass time ago, okay? But and he killed him with his own whip, and I was 100% here for it. Like, Noah, do what you got to do. Play the gangster music and kill this so we can go on, okay, with life, because he's a miserable person and he needs to die. Okay, I was like, bye. Okay, anyway, so we at the dinner table. Dinner is served. They eating dinner. I think they eating dinner, but I don't even know if they made it to the dinner, to the first chorus, child, because Noah comes out the back with a gun. He says, everybody don't move. It's about to go down, okay? We getting up out of here. So they hold it up, and it wasn't too much that happened in the dining room, okay? Because they got up and they got her out of the house. They walked straight up out the front door, okay? James was standing there, don't hurt her. And child, when Rosalie hit him upside the head with that pan, I was like, you damn right. You better knock him upside the head, because boy, you coming. This ain't your family. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you a child and I'm grown. You coming with us, period. I made the decision for you. I don't give a damn who your family is. I'm your family. Boy, you got me messed up. So she knocked him out real quick. And, you know, I don't know if the people left. They ain't show us who left. Because at first I was like, where's James? What's going on? But the people, you know, they make it outside. We don't know what happened to the people. They make it outside to the house. And TR comes around the corner. He like, don't shoot my mama. You know, put the gun down or whatever. And so they, you know, looking at each other. So both of them shoot. Now, TR does shoot. But he ended up shooting his own mama in the shoulder. And Noah shoots him in the leg. So Noah's the only one who hit his target. The little boy, when he shot his mama, it was a ricochet. It ricocheted off of something and hit the mama in the shoulder. And so, you know, she's like, you know, James is my son now, and the catchers are going to get you, and they're going to drag you back. You know, and Journey says, or Rosalie says, no, you're not going to drag me back, honey, because there's not going to be anything to drag me back to. And she takes the lantern she has and throws it into the house. So they flash us back, and she was messing around with a lamp in the house, causing a gas leak, which when she throws the lamp onto the house, the whole house explodes. My only issue with this is she would have had to do that like immediately before they came into the room, because it couldn't have been a day or two or before, because they didn't really it looked like it was light outside when she was changing the lamps, but it could have been that evening or whatever, because if anybody struck a match, because I mean, it's not like, you know, they had buku electricity, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if anybody struck a match or turned on a light or whatever the case may be, like the whole thing would have blew up before then. So she had to have done that right beforehand, and it didn't really come off as probably it could have, because it was so much melee and confusion, you know. I kind of feel like maybe they needed one more episode, because they could have paced it out a little bit better than what they did, but it is what it is. So right when they come outside, everybody gets shot. She says it's gonna be nothing, you know, to come to. She throws the lantern, the house blows up, and we see that Cora is driving. She got James in the wagon, so it's gonna be all five of them trying to get out of there, trying to get out, yeah, and figure out what's happening. Now, some questions I had was, where was Cora supposed to be at? Nobody ain't noticed she was gone when she was running, ducking, and hiding behind stuff with Noah. I mean, like, don't she work? She's in the field. Because she said being in the house when your mama was here, I was in, yeah, so she's in the field. So my thing is, nobody missed her. Where's the overseer? Nobody missed her doing work? Or maybe it's because it's the Christmas holidays, you know, nobody's working. I'm not exactly sure. So, you know, somebody, if you can explain that to me in the comments. This episode was directed by Christopher Maloney, and you can tell Okay, you can tell the difference between him and Anthony Hemingway, who has been directing all the other episodes. Anthony Hemingway is like a masterful director. Like, his directing is everything. It's not that this one was not good. It's just that it just takes a different perspective. It's more Law and Order, okay? It's more like Detective Stabler than like Augustine on Underground. It's real cut and dry. Like, I didn't really like the whole setup with the Bill scene. Like I said, we just came straight back from commercial break, straight into the fight. It wasn't nothing leading up to it. I kind of felt like they tried to pack everything in this one episode, and maybe they needed like 2 more episodes. You know, we could have did 12 episodes to kind of really establish the August and Ernestine, you know, bond, because it's just kind of strange to me that he hasn't talked about, and he hasn't barely talked this whole season at all, and now he's opening up and talking to her just at the whim. Now, I know that he had a fantasy about her, and, you know, maybe he got a little thing for her, but my whole thing with Augustine is what is the purpose of all of this? Why are you going? I feel like he gonna get to Rosalie and it's gonna be something totally different than what we thought it was gonna be. Because it seems like he's come to, like I said earlier, he's come to terms with the fact that he understands that this is his fault why his son died and not Rosalie's fault. So we'll see how it turns out, guys. If I missed anything, y'all know, just let me know what I missed, because I had to break this video up in 3 different parts and people kept interrupting me. Okay, so I might have missed something or said something 2 or 3 times. Okay, if y'all want to look at my hair is a mini twist. You know, before y'all ask me in the comments, my hair is a mini twist just because I took it down and I really don't feel like combing it. So there you have it. But y'all have a blessed week. I'll be back with Shots Fired later on today. Peace.